Hello, my dear students. Today we shall study chapter 5 History of Class 8th. The chapter name is When People Rebel 1857 and After. As you know, this is very important chapter for class 8th as well as for competitive examination also. So please keep on your focus. Let's study. The revolt of 1857 is the revolt when people has got ruled approximately 100 years, and then after getting lots of problem, they all arised and they asked the government that now we want freedom. But let's see what happens in this revolt. So the revolt of 1857 is also referred. It has some other names also. The first one is the Sepoy Mutiny, and the second is First War of Independence. Sepoy Mutiny, it means that when Sepoys, जैसा आप सिपाही समझते हैं, that is Sepoy. When Sepoy has rebelled against their officer, against British rule, and it is also called the War of Independence. First time Indian people in large scale has arisen against this British rule. Now, introduction. The chapter deals with outrage or anger of the people of India from different backgrounds against East India Company as they were facing suppression and hardship due to the policies made by the company and the changes made by them in their policies thereafter. As we have studied, lots of changes has been done by the British rulers, as like permanent settlement, doctrine of lapse, Ryotwari system, forest act. So by this you can understand that they have affected all the life, whether it is tribal, peasants, nawab, king, jamidars, normal people, everybody's life was affected. That's why people got angered and they started this rebel. Now policies and the people, what were the policies which I have told you? Policies of the East India Company affected the lives of the Indian people in many ways. The policies of East India Company, as forest act, you can take example. The forest act has affected the life of tribals. By this their old culture was disturbed and they got angered with this. They have affected kings, queens, landlords, tribal sepoys, peasants. So all of them started resisting against British rule. What happened with the Nawabs? As you have studied by the so many settlements, as like subsidiary alliance, as doctrine of lapse, and some other rules, they have acquired all the land, all the states of India. Mid 18th century, Nawab has lost their power. They lost honor and authorities. Whatever honor they were getting with Indian people, they have lost in this, and freedom of rules rulers was reduced. Whatever freedom they had, they were thinking as if they were king. But now in British rule, they were reduced with their power, with their freedom, and so on. Revenue and territories, whatever they were getting from their people, it has been taken, and now Britishers were taking that. Ruling families tried to negotiate. So many ruling families tried to negotiate, but they could not do that. As like Rani Lakshmi Bai, she wanted to make her adopted son the king, but she could not. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao, Awadh also was annexed in 1801, and they have imposed subsidiary alliance on that, and they told that the ruler of the British is incapable. So if there is misgovernment, so they want to take over, and it was the last. It has taken in 1856. After that, we have seen this revolt. This is the location of Awadh. You can see in the map. Now, bringing an end to the Mughal dynasty. What happened? You have studied in seventh standard that Mughal has acquired all over the country. They were ruling whole India. But when Britishers started acquiring some states, they wanted to reduce the power of Mughal dynasty because they were aware that if the Mughal dynasty will there, they can get their power or they can stop them doing their trade. That's why they were focusing to remove them from the power. So what they started, they first of all they removed the name of the Mughal king from the coins which has been minted by the company. Then in 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Jafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort. What does it mean? It means that now the Red Fort will be empty and it will be taken over by the British rule, and Bahadur Shah Jafar or the Mughal family will be given some another place. They will not remain in Red Fort now. In 1856, Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Jafar would be last ruler of Mughal dynasty. They have decided that Bahadur Shah Jafar would be last ruler and his son will not be king now, will not be emperor, they will be prince only. This was great dishonor for this because this was the family which has ruled for so many years, but now the power was being reduced. This has spread anger not only in Mughal family but also some supporters of them also. Peasants and sepoys. Peasants and sepoys both were from same families. As even now you can think, you can say, see that from peasants family so many people are getting in the the same way was at that time also so many peasants were in sepoys. So whatever the problem with were being faced by the peasants, it was the problem of sepoys also. But there were some other problems of sepoys that they were not getting respect in their army, in their uh, job, and they were not getting high posts also, and salary of the Indian soldiers was less than British soldiers. And other thing was that they were being forced to uh, leave their to sentiments, to violate their religious sentiments and belief. As you have studied in history that most of the time when rebel start, it is the mostly it is the reason that hurts the sentiment, religious sentiment of the people. It is very big reason. They were not ready to cross the sea. What happened when when there was war with Burma, with Britishers? They have told to Indian soldiers to go there and fight. But at that time there was a belief that if a person crosses the sea, he will lost its religion. Then it was a religious sentiment. They refused to go there. Britishers got angered and they made a law that if you want to join the British army, then you will have to cross the sea if there is need. This was came in 1856. This was also a bad law for the sepoys. Then responses to the reform. What responses was there for the reforms from Indian people? Indian society to be reformed, laws to stop the practice of sati. It is a good that law to stop the practice of sati. But those people who were conservative, they were thinking that now Britishers are interfering in our religion. English education was promoted. In 1830, Christian missionaries was allowed to function freely. When Christian missionaries was allowed to function freely, then they came India and they started promoting their religion, their Christianity and English language also. They have given lots of offer to the people, to tribal people, to lower caste people, that uh, if they will join Christianity, they will get lots of profit. They will get the right over their land. So much people started converting their religion. It was also angered some people. Religious destruction, social custom, tradition. So they affected all sphere of the life. And if all spheres of life will be affected, then definitely there will be rebel. Here you can see some thing as like widow remarriage. Widow remarriage also has been started by the Britishers. It was a good sign, I can say, and this and they have started sati and they have stopped sati system. It was also a very system, but at that time conservatives were thinking that they are interfering in the belief system and the religious system of our people. That was the problem. Now, mutiny becomes a popular rebellion. As I have told you, that what is mutiny? Mutiny when when the sepoys start rebelling against their officer, against their own people, this becomes mutiny. When because they have common enemy, they have they were peasants and sepoys also, and from both sides they were angered with Britishers, British East India Company. People need to organize, communicate, take initiative, and display the confidence. After 100 years, company faced a massive rebellion. After 100 years has been lost, then people has got this massive rebellion. Sepoys mutinied in several places, beginning from Meerut. From Meerut, it has been started. Now let's study because and when it has started, it became biggest resistance against the colonial rule. When in Meerut on 29th March 1857, a young soldier, that was Mangal Pandey. Mangal Pandey was hanged to death for attacking his officer in Barakpur. Why he was dead and why he has attacked? Because at that time there was a rumor that the new rifle which has been introduced to the army, uh, in that rifle there will be use of a cartridges, कारतूस कहते हैं जिसको हिंदी में cartridges, and rumor was that in that cartouche there is use of meat of cow and pig, and you know that cow is the religious sentiment of Hindu and pig is the religious sentiment of Muslims. So they both got angered, and so Mangal Pandey was a Brahmin and he has refused that I am not going to use this cartridges, and he has killed his officer. But he has been caught by the British people and hanged. And those 85 sepoys on 9th May 1857, 85 sepoys also has refused to use that and they have disobeyed. For that they were dismissed and they sentenced to 10 years jail. उन्हें क्या कर दिया गया, 10 साल के लिए जेल में भेज दिया गया कि अब आपको 10 साल जेल में रहना पड़ेगा ब्रिटिशर्स की बात की अवमानना करने के वजह से. So what happened here? What was the responses? On 10th May, soldiers marched to the jail in Meerut and released the sepoys. क्या किया? वो जेल में गए, सोल्जर्स बहुत सारे थे, वो जेल में गए और उन्होंने क्या किया, सिपाहियों को खोला और बाकी उनको ब्रिटिशर्स को मार डाला. देन दे अटैक्ड एंड किल्ड ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर्स. दे कैप्चर्ड गन्स एंड एम्यूनेशन. दे हैव टेकन वॉट एवर दे आर in that jail. They have taken all that armaments, ammunition, and so they have declared over their war against Firangis. You know Firangis, Britishers, East India Company people. They have declared war against them. Now there was the question that who would be leader for this? Leader कौन बनेगा? So soldiers decided that they will make Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar as their leader because they know that Mughal has ruled all over the country. So everybody from, uh, from all over the country, everybody will follow him. That's why they choose Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar. On 10th May, sepoys of Meerut road moved to Delhi. The regiment stationed in Delhi also rose up in rebellion. When people who were doing job in Delhi, they got the news that sepoys are coming. They also has mutiny and they killed their officer and looted ammunition and other things also. They set fire on the building of the British. So then soldiers went to the Bahadur Shah Jafar's palace and they convinced Bahadur Shah Jafar as their leader. Firstly, Bahadur Shah Jafar has denied, but when they have pleaded, he taken that offer, and Bahadur Shah Jafar wrote letters to all his chiefs and rulers of the country to fight the Britishers. बहादुर शाह जफर ने चिट्ठी लिखा अपने रूलर्स को, जो उनके अंडर में रूलर्स थे, बाद में फ्री हो गए थे, उनको चिट्ठी लिखा कि अब आप सभी लोग हमारे साथ रेबल में शामिल होइए. तो क्या होता है, देन the rebellion has spread. After the British were routed from Delhi, there was no uprising for almost a week. It took that much time for news to travel. Then a spurt of mutinies began. When this news has spread in all North India, then what happened? Every place there was mutiny. People had sepoys has started mutinying. Then spread of rebellion, regiment after regiment, one regiment and then next regiment. They have started to join other troops at nodal point like Delhi, Kanpur, and Lucknow. Then the rebel is widespread. British were greatly outnumbered by the rebel forces. They were defeated in a number of battles. क्या हुआ, कई सारे बैटल हुए और उन सभी बैटल्स में ब्रिटिशर्स को मार भगाया गया, निकाल दिया गया. नॉर्थ इंडिया के कई सारे एरियाज को ब्रिटिश को भगा दिया गया और उसे कैप्चर कर लिया गया. आगे क्या होता है, एक नए लीडर्स आते हैं, बहुत सारे अलग अलग जगह पर नए लीडर आते हैं, जैसे अहमदुल्ला शाह हैं, मौलवी हैं फैजाबाद से, एंड प्रोफेसाइज दैट रूल ऑफ द ब्रिटिश वुड कम टू एन एंड. उन्होंने कहा, उन्होंने एक वो बताया कि आगे बहुत जल्द ब्रिटिशर्स का रूल खत्म हो जाएगा. सम अदर लीडर्स वर ऑल्सो देयर एज लाइक बेगम हजरत महल, तात्या टोपे, रानी लक्ष्मीबाई, नाना साहब एंड सो मेनी. Counter attack. This company fights back. What happened? Firstly, Indian has captured this. They have outnumbered Britishers, but now company fights back. When company fights back, they unnerved by the scale of the upheaval, the company decided to respond the revolt with all its might. उन्होंने कहा कि हम अपनी पूरी ताकत से हम इन इंडियन से लड़ेंगे. एंड दे हैव मेड स्ट्रेटजीज. दे कॉल ऑल द prominent war leaders of their country and they started taking out. They come, first of all they captured Delhi. They arrest the last Mughal emperor, that is Bahadur Shah Jafar, and he tried, and they tried in court and sent him and his wife in Rangoon jail, and then they killed his sons in front of Bahadur Shah Jafar. Then battle goes long. The recapture of Delhi, however, did not mean that rebellion died down. सिर्फ दिल्ली कैप्चर कर लेने से ये नहीं हुआ कि रेबल खत्म हो जाएगा. दे थॉट दैट द रेबल विल गो ऑन. और उन्होंने क्या कहा, और ब्रिटिशर्स का रेजिस्टेंस करते रहे. बट क्या हुआ, ब्रिटिशर्स ने धीरे धीरे करके पूरी कंट्री पे अपना अधिकार बना लिया, फिर से वो अपने पावर में आ गए. देन व्हाट दे हैज डन, shifting loyalties, just as victorious against the British had earlier encouraged rebellion. The defeat rebel forces encouraged desertions. क्या हुआ, जैसे जैसे यहाँ के इंडियंस को खूब इंकरेजमेंट हुआ था, खूब एक स्टेट एक्वायर कर रहे थे, वैसे ही ब्रिटिशर्स को भी इंकरेजमेंट हुआ और उन्होंने भी एक्वायर कर लिया पूरी एरिया को. एंड आफ्टर मैथ व्हाट हैपेंस, then after when they control all over the country, there was some changes has been done. It takes 2 years to take over all the country, but after that there was some changes. First change was that the British Parliament passed a new act in 1858, and that has transferred the power from East India Company to British Crown. It means that now British Crown will take major decision for Indian government. अब भारत का शासन जो है वो ब्रिटिश क्राउन से चलेगा, अब वह इसके अफेयर्स में मैटर करेगा. और सभी रूलिंग चीफ जो हैं उनको क्या कर दिया गया, यह कहा गया कि वो फ्यूचर में अपने राज्य को ले लें और अपने जितने भी आगे उनके जो सक्सेसर हैं उनको वो दे सकते हैं, वेदर इट इज़ अडॉप्टेड सन और देयर ओन सन. एंड their territory will never be annexed. It also has been given that their territory will never be annexed, and they decided that proportion of Indian soldiers will also reduce, because they have seen that if there will be so much Indian in the army, then again they can rebel. That's why they have done that. Now the land and property of Muslims was confiscated on a large scale, and they were treated with suspicion and hostility. But because Britishers has thought it is the Muslim who has spread this rebellion. That's why their property has been taken. British decided to report the customary religious and social of the people in India. They said that now they will not interfere in the Indian society. Policies were made to protect landlords and jamidar and give them security of rights over the land. Now there are some causes of the revolt, and you have studied so many causes. You can study by this picture that there was so many things, that is by love doctrine of lapse which Lord Dalhousie has started, and he has annexed so many state. And then Muslims were also unhappy with East India Company, and they have after Bahadur Shah Jafar, because they have declared they will not continue Mughal emperor in the Red Fort. And apart from that, English education and railways and economic exploitation and the discontentment of Indian soldiers, these were main causes. And so there are some states which was major, which has played major role in this revolt, but we can't say that it was enough. So Britishers has again annexed that this rebel had stopped, and you can recall by this what has happened. But uh, this was a big rebel. This was a big rebel when Britishers has again annexed, but Britishers has again annexed, and they was victorious. It has so many reasons. We will talk about this in next topic. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks a lot.